What's up, my people? JT back again. I just wanted to keep the information coming, keep the gems coming. I told you I'd be back. Hey, listen, I really want to thank everybody for the emails I'm getting, the DMs and information that's being asked of me, especially coming from the financial field and where I've been for many years. So the question today that I got was, if knowing what I know now, what would I do differently? How would I attack the insurance space? Or even if I would change anything about it. So I appreciate that question. So my answer, quite frankly, would be, if I can change anything, I'd get in front of people. Quick and easy to the point. Getting in front of people, because of course I'm not too hard on myself, because I realized I was new to the field, this portion of the financial field. So you have to learn, and you have to go through those bumps and bruises, and you have to figure and navigate your way out of it, see what works for you. And I didn't know that I was going to stick with it. So if I had to say anything that I know, knowing what I know now, and if I could start today, it's getting in front of people. And so what does that mean? It means that if, in my case, I started with an agency or a big company, well known, and the goal was for them to provide the leads. Things didn't work out. I went to a different company and they provided leads as well. So I only focused on what leads were given to me. At that time, we were beyond COVID. So the industry switched to a lot of virtual, doing business virtually. So I went along and rode that wave and did quite well. I mean, that, other videos I've talked to you and told you how many policies I did my first month. For those who didn't see that, did 126 policies my first 5 months. And that was all, barely any help, barely any mentorship. Most of it was just getting the knowledge from the people that were there before me, and then taking what they had. And when I say no mentorship, I mean no one was training me technically how to sell per se. There were people in position who were feeding the information, of course, and had to give you the knowledge on what you were going to sell. So that's what I mean by that. No offense to anyone that had a part to play in helping me gain the knowledge. But again, most of the 97% of my policies, nobody had anything to do with those. Those are strictly on me. So going back to the point of getting in front of people, the obligation at that time was, here, you have these amount of leads every week, make something happen with them. And so that's all I stuck with. And when it was working, I did nothing else. But now, taking what I know now, having some time in the industry, seeing things that have worked, seeing things that slowed down, and understanding better why things may slow down, what things made money, what things didn't make money, what things helped people, what didn't help people. That was all learned because I was getting in front of people. And so I want to get in front of people. When I say that, I don't just mean physically. Getting on the phone, if your way of doing business is to take leads and make phone calls, do that. That's getting in front of people. That's talking to people. You have to have conversations every single day. You can't have a let up. Even if you're doing well, you're making six figures, you're making money, you're having success, you're helping people, don't let your foot off the gas. Because the moment you let your foot off the gas, you get too comfortable with the amount of money you're making, and you think you're doing enough. When the pipeline slows down and chargebacks happen because people, got buyer's remorse, they got their coverage, they changed their mind, they realized they didn't want to spend the money on it, whatever their reasoning is, some of that stuff is going to come back. And that's the nature of the business. There's nothing you can do about that. So again, the way to combat that, your contrast should be, if I'm getting things that are coming out, they're getting declined because of poor health, things that they didn't tell you during the application, they don't qualify for whatever reason, you need to have other things coming. And so getting in front of people would be doing your leads, following up with those leads. That's point number one. Those go hand in hand. Your next point should be, if you're doing cold calling, you should be doing some of that. With me, I think I've told you in other videos that I've gone out. I'm doing door knocking. I'm leaving material, even if they're not there and I get no one. I'm leaving material there. That can be equivalent. You can either do that, do it that way, or that can be equivalent to you actually doing marketing mailers. So if you are hiring a company and spending the money, you have the budget and you can do that. Even though I had the budget to do it, I just didn't know much about the direct marketing method. Hiring a company, giving them zip codes and telling them, here, send this out to them and let's see if any of that comes back. I just felt I'd rather be boots on the ground, door to door, making some noise that way, because I wanted to be more personable. Because again, these people that you run into have to trust you. Something that came to my mind, I'll pivot real quick. I was talking to someone yesterday and I said to them, I never really thought about it, that what if I put myself in someone else's shoes and said, if I'm sitting at home and someone knocks on my door, or let's take that back. If I'm sitting at home and I'm on the phone with somebody, let's go with that scenario, and someone says to me, do you have life insurance? Or do you have disability? Or do you have critical illness? Any of the policies that provide coverage for you. If someone asked that question, I said to myself, who would I call for that? Now, granted, some of you, I'm not smart enough. But when I think about it, this industry is different. When you think about car insurance, you can say to yourself, I need car insurance. Or if you own a home or you own property and you need coverage for the property, immediately 5 names jump up, right? The State Farms and the Geico and all those other companies. You don't even think twice. If you don't know any small mom and pops or any other brokers, you at least know 5 good big conglomerates that are on TV with ads that will give you that type of coverage. But when you think about life insurance and you think about things that cover you physically or put money in your pocket when hardships happen to you physically, you don't really think about who to call. Yes, some of those bigger names provide things like State Farm. They're overly expensive, so I wouldn't recommend it. But those are not the people you think about when you think about long-term life insurance and having coverage and critical illness. No one knows in most communities who you should go to for that. Isn't that something to think about? So why am I bringing that up? What does that do for you and I? For these agents that are out there, no matter what field you're in, you could be a P&C agent doing car insurance, home coverage, things of that nature. So this is for you as well. But primarily for people that are in the space of getting coverage for hardships and loss of life and things of that nature, there really isn't a somebody that comes straight to mind. And again, like I said, some of you might already know someone, but I pondered over it. It doesn't come quickly for me. And then that's where I'm saying this, because that's where we come in. When we're going door knocking, when we're making cold calls, yes, you might go through 100 phone calls. But guess what? Somebody had it on their mind. And when you called, you were the right person to call at that time. That's getting in front of people, right? So again, door knocking, going out there doing that. If you want to do direct mails and you have the budget, go and do that. See how it works. Everything is trial and error. You're not going to know. You can sit here and watch people like me who've had success. You can watch others who will tell you they're making $500,000 a year and blah, blah, blah. And that's great. But you don't live in that place where those people live. You don't have the same, you might not have the same gifts of gab as those people have. You have to find who you are as an agent and how effective you will be as an agent, or if this industry is for you as an agent, only if you go out and put the work in and get in front of people. So that's my message to you for today. You can do it. This is not rocket science, but you got to do the work. But I promise you, once you do the work, you get out there and you start the wheel turning, and you start getting all those things that we talked about on how to get started and how to keep that wheel turning. Referrals will come in. People, your name will start being circulated. You start getting, money goes into your pocket now, and the budget gets bigger. Maybe you don't have a budget at all, but maybe your budget starts getting bigger now because money is coming in. If you take that money and you put it back in investing into yourself, into your business, for me, it's my agency. If I go back and invest in that money that I'm making, or a portion of it to that, then guess what? Now I can put it into more marketing and more advertising, more social media and all those other things. And so along with my door knocking, along with my cold calling, along with my leads, now with my marketing, that wheel is turning. And that's what you want. When you do that, I promise you, I don't like to make everything about money because I have a different belief about money. But if that's your goal and that's your motivation, so be it. And money is good. I'm not saying that. But if money is not your goal, you just have to know what that goal is. And whatever that goal is going to be for you, it may be different for someone else. If you just love helping people and you just want to make an honest living, you do that. If you're trying to be wealthy and you're trying to set up generational wealth and it starts with you, that's great. And if you just want to be able to go day to day and be content with the daily needs, this business can supply all of that. But you have to do the work. Until next time.